OpenAI, meantime, just announcing the next version of its flagship AI model. This is the highly anticipated GPT-5.
If you haven't, then get ready, because this promises to be the viral sensation that could...
So, Claude 4 has quietly become the most underrated AI model of 2025, and I'm about to show you exactly why the entire AI community is getting this wrong. While everyone's been obsessing over GPT-5's drama, something massive has been happening behind the scenes that most people are completely missing. Like, if you've been following AI Twitter or browsing through Reddit lately, you've probably seen the endless debates about which model is actually superior. But here's what's fascinating, and this is something I've been tracking for weeks now. The narrative everyone's pushing might be completely backwards. In this video, I'm going to reveal the shocking data that shows why Claude 4 is secretly dominating in ways that most benchmarks aren't even measuring. Let me start with something that's going to blow your mind. We can see users on Reddit saying things like, "I switched to Claude and I'm never going back," and GPT-5 feels like talking to a robot, but Claude feels human. Now, this isn't just one random comment. I've compiled over 200 user testimonials from the past month, and the pattern is absolutely insane. But here's where it gets interesting, and this is where most AI YouTubers are getting it completely wrong. They're focusing on the wrong metrics entirely. Everyone's obsessing over reasoning benchmarks and mathematical problem solving, but they're missing the elephant in the room, and I'll show you exactly what that is. Now, I want to be completely transparent with you guys. I'm not here to be a Claude fanboy or to bash OpenAI. I've used every major AI model extensively, and I always tried to give you the most objective analysis possible. But what I discovered while researching this video genuinely surprised me, and I think it's going to surprise you too. So let me paint the picture for you. While everyone was hyping up GPT-5 as the next revolutionary breakthrough, Anthropic was quietly working on something that most people completely overlooked. The expectation was that GPT-5 would absolutely dominate every possible use case, right? So Sam Altman's tweets had everyone believing we were about to witness the next major leap in AI capabilities, but take a look at what actually happened. One user posted this incredible breakdown. After testing both models for creative writing, coding, and general conversation for 2 weeks straight, here are my findings. Claude 4 consistently outperformed GPT-5 in areas that actually matter for daily use. GPT-5 feels optimized for impressing researchers, while Claude 4 feels optimized for helping humans. And this sentiment is everywhere. If you dig deep into the AI communities, not just the surface level posts, but the detailed user experiences, you'll find countless examples of people discovering that Claude 4 is actually the superior choice for real world applications. But here's the kicker. This is exactly where everyone is making a fundamental mistake. The mistake isn't with the users, it's with how we're evaluating these models in the first place. See, Claude 4 represents a completely different philosophy toward AI development, and most people don't understand what Anthropic actually accomplished here. While OpenAI was building a model that excels at standardized tests, Anthropic was building something far more sophisticated. Here's what's actually happening behind the scenes, and this is information that most people don't have access to. Claude 4's architecture includes something called constitutional AI training, which fundamentally changes how the model approaches every interaction. It's not just about being smarter, it's about being more helpful, harmless, and honest in ways that traditional benchmarks can't measure. You can see this playing out in real-time user feedback. The model doesn't just give you answers, it gives you thoughtful, nuanced responses that consider multiple perspectives. When I asked both models the same complex question about ethical dilemmas, the difference was night and day. GPT-5 gave me a technically correct but cold response, while Claude 4 provided context, acknowledged uncertainty, and helped me think through the problem systematically. But here's where it gets really interesting, and this is something that's been completely flying under the radar. If we look at actual usage patterns rather than benchmark scores, we see a completely different story emerging. According to data from independent AI tracking platforms, Claude 4's user retention rates are significantly higher than GPT-5's, especially among professional users who rely on AI for complex reasoning tasks. Now, let me show you some numbers that nobody's talking about. On Chatbot Arena, which measures real user preferences through blind comparisons, Claude 4 has been consistently outperforming GPT-5 in head-to-head matchups for the past 6 weeks. We're talking about a 67% win rate in general conversation tasks and an even higher 74% win rate in creative writing scenarios. This is absolutely massive. because Chatbot Arena represents real users making real choices about which AI responses they prefer. It's not some artificial benchmark designed in a lab. It's actual human judgment about which model provides more value. And the results are pretty clear. When people don't know which model they're talking to, they consistently prefer Claude 4's responses. When we look at the coding benchmarks, and this is where everyone expected GPT-5 to dominate, Claude 4 is actually holding its own remarkably well. On Human Evil, sure, GPT is out slightly with an 89.2% compared to Claude 4's 87.8%. But here's what's wild. When you look at the code quality, readability, and maintainability metrics, Claude 4 actually comes out ahead. I tested this myself by giving both models the same complex programming challenge, building a full stack application with specific requirements. GPT-5 generated code faster, but Claude 4's code was more elegant, better documented, and included thoughtful error handling that GPT-5 completely missed. It's like comparing a race car to a luxury sedan. One's built for speed, the other's built for the long journey. Look at what's happening in the market. While OpenAI is focused on impressing researchers and tech enthusiasts with flashy capabilities, Anthropic is building something that regular people actually want to use every day. Remember, the most valuable AI company in 5 years isn't going to be the one with the highest benchmark scores. It's going to be the one that billions of people choose to integrate into their daily workflows. And when you look at it from that perspective, Claude 4's approach makes perfect sense. They're optimizing for trust, reliability, and genuine usefulness rather than raw performance on abstract tasks. It's like the difference between a Swiss watch and a stopwatch. Both tell time, but one is built for precision and longevity. This is especially clear when you look at what other AI labs are prioritizing. Google's focused on search integration, xAI is building towards everything apps, and Meta's pushing for social media integration, but Anthropic, they're building the AI that people actually want to have conversations with, work alongside, and trust with important tasks. Outside of the AI enthusiast bubble, most people still haven't even heard of Claude. They know ChatGPT, maybe they've heard of Gemini, but Claude is still flying under the radar for mainstream users. This creates an incredible opportunity for early adopters who discover Claude 4's advantages before the broader market catches on. Though despite all the noise around GPT-5's launch, despite all the marketing and hype, the quiet excellence of Claude 4 is starting to speak for itself. User satisfaction scores, retention rates, and preference data are all pointing in the same direction. When people actually use these models for real work, Claude 4 consistently delivers a superior experience. So here's my prediction, and I want to hear what you guys think about this. I believe that within the next 6 months, we're going to see a major shift in how people think about AI capabilities. The focus is going to move away from benchmark scores and toward real-world usefulness, and when that happens, Claude 4 is positioned to be the big winner.